Okay, back a few posts ago on this forum, I mentioned there was a mystery. There was two mysteries. One was the injector boundary table, and the other one was the injector trim control. Well, today I want to talk about the injector boundary, and I've satisfied myself that I'm happier to, rather than have it into 8 zones, I've put it into degrees, and for me I think that's seems more intelligent. So what I've done basically is turned the table from the 8 points that you had in EFI Live and HP Tuners. I've actually made that a total of 720 degrees. So it basically means that you could put the injector pulse almost anywhere you wanted to over that period of 720 degrees. Down here on the left hand, just got to get my mouse going. Down here on the left hand here you'll see the value 585 degrees. Well, that relates to 6.5 in the other format with the 8 sections. Over to the right here now we can see I've actually got 1 injection pulse, which again is number 1, and I've got 7 ignition pulses there. Unfortunately this scope only has 8 channels, so that's all we can do. We can't put up 8 injection pulses, but you've seen this before. But you can see the relationship with the injector pulse in the red there and the other cylinders. So what I decided to do straight away, I thought the best thing to do is to zero out all of the injector timing tables. I mean, totally put them all back at 0 and just see what it looks like with the scope ring. So I'm going to do that now, and there's a very easy way to do this because I've set a project up where I can change things fairly quickly. So what we do basically from here, we actually the first thing I'll do is I'll actually turn off the injector. Okay, I've turned that off. Going into the projects, we can go in there and view the details in there, and basically I've set it up. You'll see the top one is the original one, the one you've just seen, and I've got different things I can do fairly quickly. So I'm going to go over here where it says set all the injector timing boundary settings to 0. So what I do here is I just simply click this and make a red one. I bring it over here to make current, and then I say OK, and then I actually have to go into communications and actually synchronize the real time for those settings. So when you see that flashing across, that's the same as you guys when you flash a bin in. It's a bit quicker. Okay, that's done. One thing too I have to mention is that the injector boundary is hard coded, and what that means is that for you to move it, or anybody to move it, you've got to actually power down the PCM every time you want to make a change there. But of course that's not really necessary, because once it's been set up it's usually in a place where it should be anyway. I'm going to now turn the power back on again. Okay, I'm going to restart the injector, and if we're lucky we'll see what I want to see. Okay, you'll notice here, which is wonderful to see, this particular one here is number 1 injector, and top dead center is actually where this line is, and it just so happens that with all the settings put at 0, we actually have the end of injection time sitting exactly on top dead center number 1 cylinder, and I was very, very pleased to see this because it gives you a lot of confidence. Basically what that means now is I can actually change the boundaries, and theoretically it should track these cylinders. So down here on the left here I've made my default step setting 90 degrees. So what we'll do now is we'll actually make a change, and then I'll actually move the boundary now 90 degrees. So I'll just turn off the injectors again, like so. We'll then actually go back into the projects folder and details, and this time we're going to set the boundary now to 90 degrees. like so. Make current, and then go OK. Also go into communications and also synchronize data again. Uploading OK. And of course verifying as well. So I'll just turn that off, being hard coded, and just wait for a few moments. Nothing else I can mention on here. You'll notice actually something that you may not understand. There's actually 3 blocks here. There's the injector boundary one, and there's 2 spaces here. Now these are actually 2 16-bit areas here directly after the injector boundary setting, and those values can be seen over here actually as a straight line. Now they're not actually in the editor of HP Tuners or EFI Live, but I'm going to find out what those 2 do, because I'm sure they're involved with the injector timing in some way. Okay, we'll just turn the power back on again and run it up, and we should see once it's stabilized. Okay, we've shifted now our injection pulse over. Now we can put a line over here. We can drag this line over and drag it across to this, to where it lines up, and it's a little bit tricky to do it. There it is there. Up here in this area here, you can see it's 86.42, but you've only just got to move this a fraction either side of it and you'll end up with 90 degrees. So it's, as far as I'm concerned, it's that is correct. So that's moved at 90 degrees, and so we can actually continue. We can just keep on shifting it across, and I'll go one more. In fact, I may even go a little bit more than 90. Let's just turn the injectors off again. Okay, go up back into our projects folder, details. We'll shift it. Say 360 degrees this time. So we'll click on that one there. Make current, and then go back OK. Of course, synchronize our real-time computer. Uploading, verifying, and again I will turn off the power. Okay, anything else I can tell you in here of interest? You'll notice up here where I'm moving the mouse, we've actually got 2 or 3 kinds of pointers, and they could be quite useful. There's a magnifying glass when you want to go into look at some of the logs and expand them, and also to make them smaller if you wanted to. Okay, I'll turn the power back on. Okay, so now we should be 360 degrees away. So again, just wait till it stabilizes a little bit. Yeah, she's coming there. And we can now, so where are we? Just got to move this one here. Yeah, actually 360 is actually where the other one is as well. So this here comes over and it's very, very close to 360. So there you go, that's something that gives somebody some confidence. So that's one mystery gone. So the next one now is the injector trim. So we work on that one and see what's going on, and see if we can pull it all together by mathematically working out all these degrees and see if we can make some sense of it. So all the best and enjoy it. Take care.